From Royal Communications Incorporated, good evening and welcome to King's Newsroom, 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa, and our one world. Today is Tuesday, December 9, 2025, and I'm Shemon Dia presenting. In the headlines, Solidarity and Trust for a New Day condemns Liberia Council of Churches campaign for 8th December 17 nationwide protest cancellation. Stan Chairman Moba Molo accuses LCC of being compromised. Grand Crew County Senator Nomani Batikwa calls for institutionalization of a National Sanitation Day Summit bill to Senate plenary to declare first Saturday of each month, says it will reduce poor waste management. In also the news tonight, House of Representatives proposes creation of 14 additional districts in 9 counties, with Monserrato accorded 4 new seats, but citizens describe the proposal as new national burden and political tactics. Away from home, 11 Nigerian military officers were briefly detained in Burkina Faso after their aircraft made an emergency landing in the country. Burkinabe security sources told the BBC. Security has been tightened across Tanzania, with police and military seen patrolling major cities ahead of anticipated anti-government protests called to coincide with Independence Day. These plus the news bulletin, voices of those making the news at our package. We'll take a short break to be right back. Welcome back. At this juncture, we join Newton Tokba with the news bulletin.
Amidst calls for the cancellation of the December 17 nationwide protest, Stein has sharply responded to the Liberia Council of Churches, describing it as a once sacred body that now reduced itself to a political choir for corrupt regime. In response to the LCC campaign against the December 17 protest, Stein Chairman Mowa Modu, in a Facebook post, accused the Council of Churches of being compromised and ignoring the crisis and interests of Liberians. Modi added that while Liberians staff, due to severe hunger and bleed for police, that's from police brutality, heads of the LCC are feasting on the same table, something he called a political glutton. The Solidarity and Trust for a New Day chairman, who vowed to proceed with the nationwide December 17 protest, claimed that any clergy that bans scripture to please the president is now serving Christ. According to him, the Liberia Council of Churches nations that Liberians should not protest because of Christmas is unacceptable. Grand Creek County Senator Nomani Batukwa has submitted a bill to the plenary of the Liberian Senate, titled "An Act to Declare the First Saturday of every month as National Sanitation Day." Speaking with reporters following the submission of the bill, Senator Nomani Batukwa says the bill aims to declare the institutionalize the monthly nationwide cleanup campaign introduced during the administration of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf under the stewardship of former Monrovia City Mayor Mary Brown. The Grand Creek County Senator added that the bill will be named after former Monrovia City Mayor Mary Brown as Mary Broad National Sanitation Day. The senator noted that dedicating the first 4 hours of every first Saturday to cleaning homes, business areas, and public spaces once play a vital role in promoting cleanliness, public health, and civil responsibility. In addition to the sanitation bill, Senator Batikwat raised urgent concerns about the growing presence of foreign nationals obtaining mining licenses and exploiting Liberia's mineral resources without regard for community well-being or national benefit. He pointed to mounting evidence of road damage caused by mining operations, damage that untimely requires government funds to repair it. He also highlighted the dangerous impact of rock blasting, which often causes horses in nearby communities to shake, crack, and deteriorate, exposing residents to to unsafe living conditions. In another development, Senator Norman Batukwan on Tuesday denial of claims linking him having a company subcontracted by ArcelorMittal. Addressing reporters at the Capitol Building office, Senator Batukwan described the allegations as baseless and challenged his accusers to present evidence. Senator Batukwan, who chairs the Senate Committee on Concessions and Investment, said he has never conducted business with any concessionaire nor maintained private ties to mining companies. It emphasized that his responsibilities are strictly official and limited to oversight challenges. Critics bring the evidence. Senator Batukwad continued that he has no company and no dealings with any concession or mining group. 14 additional electoral districts are expected to be created across 9 counties in Liberia ahead of 2029 general and presidential elections. Upon the creation of the districts, Liberia will have a total of 87 electoral districts, putting the country's future total number of legislators to 117. Counties to have new districts include Monserrate, 4 seats, Nimba, 2 seats, Bong, 2 seats, Makibi and Grand Bassa, Cape Mount, and Grand Gillette, Lofa, and Maryland get one seat each. To ensure the creation of additional electoral districts on Tuesday, December 9, the House of Representatives endorsed its Joint Committee on Elections and Inauguration, Judiciary and Good Governance, and the Government Reform Report, which calls for 14 new electoral districts creation. The House Joint Committee indicated constitutional and political guided framework for the redemarcation of the country's constituencies ahead of 2029 elections. Plenary of the House of Representatives on Tuesday voted to endorse and amend the Local Governance Act. The plenary endorsement followed a submission of a comprehensive report from the Joint Committees on Judiciary and Internal Affairs. According to the House of Representatives Press Bureau, the committees were mandated to review the Local Governance Act of 2018 and advise plenary on possible amendments aimed at strengthening local governance and decentralization across the country. The act, when concurred by the Senate, would ensure that strengthening local governance structures, enhance administrative efficiency, expand citizen participation in county-level development, and reinforce the nation's decentralization agenda in line with the 1986 Constitution of the Republic of Liberia. The amended legislation shall be tied to an act to amend certain sections of the new Title 20 of the Local Government Act of 2018, Liberia Codes of Laws reversed, to be known as the Local Government Act of 2025. The government of Liberia says it has made significant progress in major sectors, including energy, transport, among many others. The government also claimed that it has made significant strides in addressing the country's bread and butter issues, pointing out to improvements in transportation, electricity access, production, and job creation. Assistant Finance Minister to Wellington Bashut made a section during the launch of the UN Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework for 2026-2030. He highlighted a major drop in transport fares due to ongoing road works, noting that traveling from Maryland County to Monrovia has been made easier due to paved roads. Minister Bashwat also reported an increase in electricity access from 23 to 29%. He said expanded power supply is helping small businesses and households reduce generator costs and improve daily productivity. He further claimed that market prices are stabilizing as more locally produced goods reach major markets, adding that increased supply of vegetables, cassava, palm products, and rice is helping reduce reliance and imports and ease pressure on consumers. The Independent Information Commission on Tuesday convened a major stakeholder validation section for its new 5-year strategic plan, signaling a renewed commitment to transparency, accountability, and revitalized freedom of information regime in Liberia. Held at the St. Stephen's Episcopal Church in Cinco, the program brought together representatives from government institutions, civil society organizations, the disability community, development partners, and the media. Remarking at the program, Joash Hodges, Commissioner of the Independent Information Commission, described playing as critical milestone for the Commission and the nation. He noted that upon assuming leadership in June 2024, the Commission inherited an expired strategic plan and an FOI information facing significant decline. Commissioner Hodges emphasized the plan to address Liberia's current realities, including emerging technologies, capacity building gaps, and shrinking donor support. Also speaking at the program, Madam Lopu Page, Executive Director of the Independent Information Commission, highlighted collaborative spirit behind the plan in progress. She referred to the document as not just a plan, but a roadmap for Liberia's open governance future. Madam Page announced that the final strategic plan will be officially launched on Tuesday, December 16 at 10 o'clock a.m. at the Monrovia City Hall ballroom. She encouraged all stakeholders to who contributed to the development process to attend, emphasizing their participation symbolizes shared ownership of the plan. A group of disabled persons in Monrovia have expressed deep disappointment in the head of the National Commission on Disability, Samuel Dean, over what they described as betrayal and marginalization. Speaking to King's FN, Yalom Smo, a visually impaired personality, alleged that the Commission head has consistently ignored the well-being of many persons with disabilities. Sumot further accused Dean of corruption, claiming that funds received from the national government intended to empower persons with disabilities have been directed for personal use. According to him, instead of ensuring the money benefits the community, the National Commission on Disability had allegedly purchased a vehicle and constructed a home for himself, leaving members without any financial accountability. The grief group also recounted a recent confrontation, claiming that on Wednesday, December 12th, Samuel Dean ordered the Liberian National Police to assault them when they demanded their share of funds provided by the government. A resident of Broadview City, Madam Fanta Pori, is calling on the Ministry of Justice to ensure a fair trial for her daughter, who said was wrongly convicted in a recent rape case. Speaking to King's Event over the weekend, Madam Bori claimed that her daughter was sentenced without a proper legal process, an action she described as cash violence against her child. According to her, the alleged victim, believed to be about 13-year-old, accused her daughter of assisting a man who reportedly abused her about 2 months ago in the Broadview area. She recounted that the young girl claimed her daughter held her feet while the man committed the act. Madam Bori, however, insisted that there had been a prior dispute between the families, which she believes may have influenced the accusation. She further revealed that her daughter, who is the mother of a 1-year-old child, is currently ill and behaving unusual due to stress and frustration surrounding the situation. Madam Bori is therefore appealing to the national government through the Minister of Justice to prioritize fairness in the matter to save the well-being of both the daughter and her 1-year-old grandchild. Former Montserrat County Superintendent Grace Kwan has accused Deputy House Speaker Thomas Fowler and Montserrat County Senator Sir Joseph of obstructing development initiatives in the county during her tenure. Speaking Monday on local radio station in Monrovia, Kwan claimed that Lofa County District 1 lawmaker was heavily engaged in multiple corruption acts during her tenure as representative of Montserrat County District 5. According to her, the alleged actions of Deputy Speaker Fowler and other members of the Montserrat County Legislative Caucus significantly undermined development efforts in Montserrat County surrounding areas during the administration of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Meanwhile, the former Montserrat County Superintendent is calling on the leadership of the Unity Party to disengage all political ties with Representative Fowler, describing him as an extreme political opportunist. She further characterized the Deputy Speaker as someone who aligns himself with any ruling administration, regardless of its values or administrative policies. The former superintendent warned that an attempt by the Unity Party to continue political ties with the Deputy Speaker could contribute to setbacks for both the party and the government. And the governance Commission and the Law Reform Commission are said to be working together purposely to encourage the appropriate and that's the authorities to approve the upgrading and rewriting of Liberian Constitution. GC Acting Chairman Professor Alari Tukpa disclosed that due to evolving and changing circumstances, there is a need to review and update the Liberian Constitution. Professor Tukpa made the disclosure, but he addressed the press on state of affairs at the Governance Commission in Monrovia on Monday. According to Professor Tukpa, the GC, in collaboration with the Law Reform Commission and the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, would also be reviewing the anti-corruption laws in order to update them. The GC acting chairman and national anti-corruption strategy is updated, and this is a matter of concern. On the employees, Professor Tukpa explained that a personnel audit has revealed that 79 persons were employed between 2021 and 2023 without competitive process, advertising of vacancies, or document of evaluation.
Nathan Topper with the news bulletin. The news bulletin is a regular feature on King's News Broom. A reminder you're listening to King's News Broom, 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa, in our one word. Stories we follow you tonight. Solidarity and Trust for a New Day condemns Liberia Council of Churches campaign for its December 17 nationwide protest cancellation. Stan Chairman Moba Molu accuses LCC of being compromised. Grand Creek County Senator nominee Batikwa calls for institutionalization of a National Sanitation Day. Submit bill to Senate plenary to declare first Saturday of each month. Say it will reduce poor waste management. And also the news tonight, House of Representatives proposes creation of 14 additional districts in 9 counties, with Monserrado accorded 4 new seats. But citizens describe the proposal as new national burden and political tactics. Away from home, 11 Nigerian military officers were briefly detained in Burkina Faso after their aircraft made an emergency landing in the country. Burkina Faso security sources told the BBC. Security has been tightened across Tanzania, with police and military seen patrolling major cities ahead of anticipated anti-government protests called to coincide with Independence Day. We'll take a break to be back with voices of the newsmakers. Welcome back and thanks for being there. Grand Creek County Senator nominee Batikwa has submitted a bill to the plenary of the Liberian Senate tied to an act to declare the first Saturday of every month as National Sanitation Day. Speaking with reporters following the submission of the bill, Senator Batikwa said the bill aims to declare and institutionalize the monthly nationwide cleanup campaign introduced during the administration of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf under the starship of former Monrovia Mayor Mary Brown. The Grand Creek County Senator added that the bill will be named after former Monrovia City Mayor Mary Brown as Mary Brown National Sanitation Day.
The second is that, yes, I submitted a bill to the Liberian Senate last Thursday, and it was postponed to today's sitting. That bill is entitled An Act to Declare the First Saturday of every month National Sanitation Day to be observed as a clean-up day. You will recall that during Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf's tenure, when Mary T. Brown was serving as city mayor, she introduced the practice of every Liberian observing the first Saturday, the first 4 hours, conduct cleanup campaign in your premises, your home. If you are a business, at your business center. If you are a market, at your market center. Everywhere. throughout the length and breadth of this country. And since the introduction of that day, it has been widely accepted and practiced by Liberians. Sanitation Day, it should be called Maryborough National Sanitation Day. So we are going to advise the Liberian Senate as the law will be discussed before its enactment. That recommendation will be made to the committees, the Committee on Judiciary, Committee on Internal Affairs, and Committee on Health that are handling that law, the preparation of that bill for passage into law. So that's the submission we've made. Again, as the third item in our discussion today with you, we have presented a communication to the Liberian Senate, bringing to the attention of that body the act of foreigners just coming into our country, going to the Ministry of Lands and Mines, acquiring mining licenses just to exploit our industrial resources, taking a concern for the people that are living in these communities. The roads are regularly damaged, and when the roads are damaged, government has to empower its Minister of Public Works to go and fix the worst is the case of rocks. When the people are blasting, the nearby community houses shake. Sometimes rocks affected with their health conditions, and there is no benefit to those affected communities. They just go and take these resources and sell them with no benefit either to the government or to the affected communities. Our Liberian law, the law that set aside 25 businesses for Liberians, indicated the money of sin as well. However, these people taking advantage of our weakness and put aside, bypassing that law and exploiting these resources. But even if they are doing it, why don't they pay the appropriate royalty for government that will empower the government to repair the damage they are causing on the roads, to equip the hospital that will cater to the people who are affected on a daily basis?
Senator Batikwa also denied claims linking him to having the companies subcontracted by ArcelorMittal. He described the allegation as baseless and challenged his accusers to present evidence.
I want to hear categorically, in a clear term, challenge anybody to bring forth an evidence that I, Senator Numinity H. Batikwa, Chair of the Senate Committee on Construction and Investment, have a complaint working with or for the ArcelorMittal. Let that person come forth with the proof to contradict what I'm saying here. Again, as I said, I have no complaint. Dealing with ArcelorMittal or other complaints is official. In my capacity as Chair on Construction and Investment, providing oversight to all concessionaires. I don't have complaint with them, so nobody should insinuate or claim or promote baselessly, falsely, that I have complaint with ArcelorMittal. That's the first clarity I wanted to make.
Grand Crew County Senator Numini Batikwa. The government of Liberia says it has made significant progress in major sectors, including energy, transport, among many others. The government also claimed it has made significant strides in addressing the country's bread and butter issues, pointing out improvements in transportation, electricity access, production, and job creation. Assistant Finance Minister Wellington Bashut made a section during the launch of the UN Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework for 2026-2030.
Our citizens from Maryland County are no longer paying $15,000 above to leave from Maryland County to come to Monrovia, and they are now paying $5,000. That difference in what they were paying before and what they are paying now are being used to address the bread and butter issue. The fact that the government and development partners have succeeded in increasing the electricity access from 33% of the population to now 39.5% of the population, that's addressing the bread and butter issue. The fact that the government and development partners are investing in road construction. Who are those constructing the roads? Are they robots? They are people across every hour, be it unskilled laborers, semi-skilled laborers, or skilled laborers. Most of them are Liberians. Are they not earning income to put in their pockets? Today, if you go to some of our major markets, Red Light, Douala, and other places, you find domestically produced commodities on the market at cheaper price. Let's look at the price for bag of rice. This is the first time that we have started paying just around $2,500 for bag of rice. 6-7 years ago, I remember I had to send as far as downtown to purchase rice that came from Guinea for my family and people that work for me on my farm because I could not afford them going hungry. Today, we have not heard of any shortage of rice. We have not heard of any shortage of petroleum products. In fact, as far as Maryland County, if you were to go there today and ask for the price of a gallon of gasoline, how much does it cost? In Morovia here, it's around maybe $600, near $700. In Maryland County, they pay just around $700 for gasoline. Is that not addressing the bread and butter issue?
Assistant Finance Minister Wellington Rashid. A reminder you're listening to King's Newsroom, 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa in our one word. Stories we're following tonight. Solidarity and Trust for a New Day condemns Liberia Council of Churches campaign for its December 17 nationwide protest cancellation. Stan Chairman Moba Molo accuses LCC of being compromised. Green Group County Senator Nomini Batikwa calls for institutionalization of a National Sanitation Day. Submit a bill to Senate plenary to declare first Saturday of each month, says it will reduce poor waste management. House of Representatives proposes creation of 14 additional districts in 9 counties with Maserado, according 4 new seats. But citizens describe the proposal as new national burden in political parties. Away from home, 11 Nigerian military officers were briefly detained in Burkina Faso after their aircraft made an emergency landing in the country, Burkinabe security sources told the BBC. Security has been tightened across Tanzania with police and military seen patrolling major cities ahead of anticipated anti-government protests called to coincide with Independence Day. We'll take a break to continue with more voices, including our foreign news. Welcome back and thanks for being there. The Independent Information Commission on Tuesday convened a major stakeholder validation section for its new 5-year strategic plan, signaling a renewed commitment to transparency, accountability, and a revitalized freedom of information regime in Liberia. Here at St. Stephen's Episcopal Church in Sinko, the program brought together representatives from government institutions, civil society organizations, the disabled community, development partners, and the media. Remarking at the program, Joe Hodges, Commissioner of the Independent Commission or Information Commission, described the plan as a critical milestone for the Commission and the nation.
We took over the RC in June of 2024, and upon our ascendancy, the last strategic plan had expired. But more than that, we have observed and realized that the institution and the FOR regime generally was in decline in Liberia. And one of the things we needed to do was to look within the IRC, find out the challenges, and look at the entire FOR landscape and see how we can reinvigorate and re-energize the institution to ensure a rigorous, rigid, and functioning FOR regime in Liberia. Therefore, we work with Internews through funding from the European Union Media Activity Program, provided a little funding through CIMEX, who have been our long-standing partner in the FOR business in Liberia for us to craft a new strategic plan, looking at all the issues, the emerging technology, the issue of leadership, capacity building, the decline in donor support. Of course, all of us know the donor basket or whatever has donor is drying out, and a number of other issues were considered. Today is for us who are stakeholders in the FOR business or in the transparency and accountability landscape of Liberia to look at the document and validate the document, meaning you will be allowed to provide critical feedback, dismantle it, so to speak, if I may, look at the document, dismantle it, recreate the document, or whatever the case may be, but the essence is for us to get stakeholder feedback on the way forward on the FOR implementation regulation in Liberia. And because you are very important to this process, that is the reason why we've invited you to come, sit with us, and look through the document and validate.
Also speaking at the program, Madam Lapu Page, Executive Director of the Independent Information Commission, highlighted the collaborative spirit behind the planning process. She referred to the document as not just a plan, but a roadmap for Liberia's open governance future.
What we want to achieve in the next 5 years. So as we leave from here today, we should go with the thought that this document is just not for RRC alone, because we are not just the only person to implement this plan. This plan will be implemented by all of us sitting in this room, because you are our partners, you are our stakeholders. So together we can achieve more. Together we can translate this document into a meaningful result for the next 5 years. So I want you to leave from here with that thought that this is also your document. So we are going to compile all of these inputs that you have given to us. By the way, these inputs also have enriched our plan. So we really want to say a very big thank you. It's not easy to translate your ideas on paper, and that's what you have done to enrich our strategic plan. We want to say thank you. So in the coming days, we're going to finalize this document, and we hope that by Tuesday, which is already arranged, next week Tuesday will be the 16th of December. We are going to launch this plan at Monrovia City Hall Ballroom, 10 o'clock. We are launching this plan. So also it means that you are invited to come and see your plan, what we put together as stakeholders, as partners. So we are hoping on your support from today for the launching and for the implementation of this plan. We are counting on your support.
Lapu Page, Executive Director of Independent Information Commission. Earlier heard the voice of George Hodges, Commissioner of the Independent Information Commission. A group of disabled persons in Monrovia have expressed deep disappointment in the head of the National Commission on Disability, Samuel Dane, over what they described as betrayal and marginalization. Speaking of King's Evan, Yalen Sumo, a visually impaired person, alleged that the commission head has consistently ignored the well-being of many persons with disabilities. Sumo further accused Dane of corruption, claiming that funds received from the national government intended to empower persons with disabilities have been diverted for personal use.
What I'm going to say here is that we are getting permission at Disability Administration Affair.
Okay.
I am here now shopping in the street. If I'm not there, I cannot eat. Okay. And we are getting permission from the government that he's going to give us empower money. But the person that he gave the money to, the call Saint Dish. Saying that time we're running after it, we have made protests complete 4 different times. We cannot get anything from him. And he promised us that he want to give us the money. We cannot get the money from him. He bought a house, he bought a car. When we go there, police people also beating on us. We cannot get anything. So the day when he's getting with him, he has made a promise for some people. They're going to him at night. They're getting money from him. So they seeing him, my friend, myself, we will get lecture number 8 now. We cannot get money from the man. We sit on the street. We're suffering. We didn't get nothing yet. Today we're suffering. We had the man to go to him also to appeal to the government to also tell Mr. Joseph Parker to please help us and get the money to us so we can try to do something for us in the future. This is why we are here for. This is why we run around. And the man has bought our character. He said we are a beggar. He will be giving water to drink, and we are kidnapping people. But during that time, we can't get money. We just shopping, sitting down here on our back.
Voice of a visually impaired Liberian, Yalan Somo. They're speaking when they accuse the head of the National Commission on Disability, Samuel Dane, of betraying and marginalizing them. A resident of Boroville City, Fanta Borid, is calling on the Ministry of Justice to ensure a fair trial for her daughter, who she said was wrongfully convicted in recent rape case. Speaking of King's Even over the weekend, Madame Borid claimed that her daughter was sentenced without a proper legal process, an action she described as catch violence against the child.
The lady is lying my dollar, he say my dollar who dollar four,
Okay.
a rape or dollar. And I was speaking now na Jeff from Sobri, my dollar Jeff fitting in the jail, grabbing people there, chewing people body all over.
Okay.
And they call me and when the general for the place come out. So I want for the people to step inside as they can see if the woman can rape. She pull her crown on her child here and the child left for paper when the paper. Now I was speaking the paper seriously sick in my hand. And I get no one to fight for me. She used cash violence. I had to send my dollar inside. The particular lady I was talking about, I was uncle lay down with her. The whole estate, everybody know about it.
So where this thing happened?
Like in Broadway, King of Vere.
In this lie, have you people been to court?
She know we not go to put a dirty one from Broadway court, from Broadway police station, straight
To Sabi.
to the place there, they carry us straight to Sabi.
So this particular lady that is in prison now at the South Beach area, wasn't she alone who was arrested for this act?
She and the man.
She and the particular man,
Yeah, they
the
say-
uncle.
No. And now the uncle, like different man, they get la on.
Okay.
So they say they my dollar, more la on the man, and she said she can't do it. She know the man for anyone, so she can't la on the man. So like, hey, keep it to an over there. So like, the part the me men that do the act, they left him behind, and they collect the leg, and they bought the man, they carry inside. I was talking now, and I said,
Fatu Barid, resident of Boroville City, they're calling on the Ministry of Justice to ensure fair trial for her daughter. Away from home, 11 Nigerian military officers were briefly detained in Burkina Faso after that aircraft made an emergency landing in the country. Burkina security sources told the BBC the L4C-130 aircraft entered Burkina Faso's airspace on Monday without authorization, according to the country's territorial administration minister, Emily Debo. In a joint statement, the military government of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger said their prompt investigation confirmed the violation of its airspace and the sovereignty of its member states. But the Nigerian Air Force said a technical problem met the plane, which was en route to Portugal, had to land in accordance with safety procedures. And security has tightened across Tanzania, with police and military seen patrolling major cities ahead of anticipated anti-government protests called to coincide with Independence Day, but May Day local time. However, no demonstrations have begun. Residents in Dar es Salaam and other areas reported an unusual slow start to the day, with many people choosing to remain indoors amid uncertainty over whether protests will happen. The demonstrations were called to demand political reforms in the wake of October's post-election unrest, which left an unknown number of people dead. Well, on that note, that's how we come to the near end of this edition of King's Newsroom. But before we leave, a quick reminder of stories we followed in the headlines. Solidarity and Trust for a New Day condemns Liberia Council of Churches campaign for its December 17 nationwide protest cancellation. STEN Chairman Moba Molu accuses LCC of being compromised. Grand Creek County Senator Nomini Batikwa calls for institutionalization of a National Sanitation Day. Submit a bill to Senate plenary to declare first Saturday of each month, says it will reduce poor waste management. You also heard in the news, House of Representatives proposes creation of 14 additional districts in 9 counties, with Monserrado accorded 4 new seats. But citizens describe their proposal as new national burden and political tactics. Away from home, 11 Nigerian military officers were briefly detained in Burkina Faso after their aircraft made an emergency landing in the country. Burkinabe security sources told the BBC. Security has been tightened across Tanzania, with police and military seen patrolling major cities ahead of anticipated anti-government protests called to coincide with Independence Day. And thanks to our reporters, correspondents, and all those who help in making this edition of King's Newsroom a success. Newton Topa brought you the news bulletin as at control. On behalf of the team, I'm Shema Dale. I presented. Thanks for listening and watching.